Dreamhouse TV. Today I have a very special guest in the studio with me today. I will allow him to introduce himself. I'm just in awe, like to begin with. So I'm just going to allow him to go ahead and introduce himself for a second.
I appreciate that. My name is Saint LENIVYY. Y'all can call me Saint. Born and raised out of Houston, Texas, and I'm super happy to be here with you.
Oh yeah, man! I'm excited to be in your presence, man. Like just looking at like the different journeys and stuff that you've been on.
Definitely.
Right. I've seen. Also saw your Instagram, your music, of course. I told you about Midas. You guys, make sure you go check out his YouTube. He has dope music. And Midas was just the one that I fell in love with. But other than that, he has real dope music. But your journey, like I want to hear all about it. I saw you had president with Joe Biden, the president. I saw you had worked with Travis Scott, right?
Yeah.
Travis Scott. I also saw you doing like giving back to the community, like doing different work with that. So let's get into it.
Yeah. So I mean, to start from the beginning, I started making music when I was like 14, just about, and it kind of all rooted back to whenever my dad had passed away when I was 11, and so growing up, I was just kind of thinking like there was a lot of kids around me that were very, they were depressed or like feeling lost and all that, and they usually resorted to like self-harm and things like that. And like for me, I didn't see myself doing that as a way of coping. So a coping mechanism that I found was through music, and specifically an artist by the name of Kid Cudi. So, with Kid Cudi, that dude is like, he's really fucking awesome, and he lost his dad when he was 11 too, when I found that out. And so, connecting with him through his music, that's what kind of got me into music. And then, of course, there's other artists I look up to, like Kanye, Travis, of course. There's MF Doom, man. And so it's just like these different artists that like helped me kind of paved my way through it, and now I'm like doing a whole bunch of different shit,
Right. It's like, hey, music is a relaxer, because I turn to music too. Like even when those moments I just want to like beat to myself.
Yeah.
I turn to the music, any kind of music. Really, it's just like it depends, right? Like because sometimes it switches up your vibe too. So it's like, okay, if I listen to this, I know it'll. If I listen to this, it's gonna bring me deeper into my feelings. It's gonna make me feel worse. So we just try to pull away from certain things, right?
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, man. So the music, like, at what point did you get to where it was like, okay, this is what I want to do?
I think it was what was it? I think it was in 6th grade when I first dropped like my first mixtape. And it was called Year of the Rabbit, since I was born in 1999. And I dropped it, and I was telling everybody about it, and they said that if I could sign, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I mean, it's cool, right? Yeah, I'm here for the feedback, and so I was just like, you know what? It's cool because like I like that response. I like any negative or positive response to my music. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And it's just a learning lesson from there. And so I was like, okay. I mean, I'm just starting off, so I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the process of it. Right. So at that point, I decided to go to school for it. So currently, I'm at Texas Southern University.
Oh, wow. That's like, you're like the whole package.
Yeah.
It's like the whole package. Like, when you know that you're the whole package, it's like your value and your work is like, it goes.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Goes up. Right.
It was a day after the first Astroworld festival, and it was back in 2018, and it was like super early in the morning, and I was tired because I went to the festival, and people were like calling me, telling like, hey, do you want to come interview Travis, or do you want to come see Travis here at City Hall? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that shit. And we were waiting for him and whatnot, and he finally came, and that's when he did his his speech and all that. He got his proclamation for Astroworld Day. Just being in that presence of like kind of witnessing like a Houston legend receiving his own day here in Houston, that was a really big thing for me. And then being able to meet him and whatnot. And a lot of people at the time, they were like taking pictures and all that. But like my mom was like, I'm here for one thing and one thing only. And I was like, I gotta get a question in at least.
At least one.
No, definitely. And so I ended up asking him. There's a lot of kids that look up to you, such as myself. And what advice would you give other kids who want to pursue music or just pursue anything? Like, what advice would you give them to like succeed and be successful? And in the video, you can see like Sylvester Turner like pushing me away, and like his bodyguard's like, "Hey, no questions, whatever," and he stopped. Yeah.
Travis, we all know that you're an inspiration for kids. I'm with the ERM Alliance at Texas Southern University. What advice would you give other kids?
Hold on. We can't do it right now, guys. Hold on, I got him. I say that as long as you just apply your future, stay focused, go hard, never lack up, you got it, man.
In my mind, you guys, I'm really so excited because like not only that Sesame Street.
My biggest career goal is to work for Sesame Street and to really, try to put my footprint into Sesame Street as a Mexican American, as a Hispanic. And so me and my brother, and we just went. We were kind of on a vacation, but I was on more of a mission to go to Sesame Street and really make some sort of feedback or something. And I went to the office. And as soon as I stepped in, I got denied. I got it. They know I'm there, so I'm cool with it. And with Sesame Street, what I want to do is I want to introduce who is an immigrant from Mexico, and he came over with his grandmother as part of the Dreamers Act, which is a process of giving an education for immigrants and trying to get them an education here in the U.S. And so, I think that's a really big thing that a lot of people need to address is immigration. And again, going back to the whole Beto O'Rourke thing, that's something that he addresses that, yes, immigrants do need to obey and abide by the laws here in the U.S., but it's up to us as Texans to make sure that the laws are also respectful and that they also assist everybody in certain groups, So I think that's something that we really need to, focus on, and especially with kids, because there's kids here in the U.S. that don't have their parents. They're not being able to see their parents as often, or seeing their parents through a whole wall, that's not what a kid is supposed to do. That's not what they're supposed to be growing up by. They're supposed to be in a good education area, a good environment for them to grow up and make friends, and just be the future of our generation. So I think it's something that I really want to pursue with Sesame Street and just kind of like mixing that into my career as well. So yeah.
Right. Sesame Street, I don't know what's going on with y'all. Y'all need to call this guy, okay? Make sure you call Saint, okay? Call him, okay? Because like the vision that you have, we can go further than what you can expect with kids.
Yeah.
Like we know we went through that growing up.
Yeah. And
we see it now how worse, how it got worse from us growing up to now, and it's just like I don't know. I'm afraid.
No, definitely, and I think that's something that we also we really gotta address is just what is gonna be the future of our generation and our kids. What is that future? I can't see anything positive out of it if we're not gonna do anything. So it's it's just something that we just gotta really put our foot forward in, and a lot of people are probably gonna be like, "Oh, you're just one person. You can't really do anything." And that's why I'm asking for your help. We can all work together and just kind of pursue this whole thing, So yeah.
I feel that. So from where you are now, your younger self, if it came to you for advice, what would you say?
Man,
your younger self.
That's a really good question. I would probably say, keep your head up, don't get mad, and don't take everything too seriously. Because I think, growing up with, with my dad passing away, I had grew into anger issues and things like that, and I had to go to anger management and things like that for that. So it's just kind of if I were to tell my younger self that, I'd be like, hey, don't get mad because things aren't that serious as they need to be. I'd say the only reason I wouldn't even say get mad. I don't even think there's a reason to get mad, because if someone passes away, you're gonna feel anger towards the world and why this person, whatever. But it's nobody's fault. And I think that's another thing is I would probably tell my younger self it's not your fault. Your dad passing away, it's not your fault that you don't have this many friends. It's not your fault that people look at you differently, it's not your fault. I think that's probably one of the biggest things I would tell my kids.
I thought too on that one.
It's not your fault.
Yeah. Cause I mean, you gotta. Well, yeah. Ooh, man, they hit home. But I mean, growing up, excuse me, growing up, you realize that hey, you don't cause everything to go wrong.
Exactly.
Sometimes you may feel like you're like, oh, mom and dad got a divorce. But now you feel like it's on you. It's not on you. That is something that, that was already planned. And before we was even born, it was already written.
Yeah.
So, we didn't know what we was going to go through. But now that we went through it, we either learn from it and move on, or we stay in the same situation and allow it to bend us up a little bit more.
Exactly.
Like sometimes you gotta you gotta have that straightened out, and whether you agree to it or disagree to it, it's gonna have that moment to something's gonna shake you, and it might break you, and tears gonna come. It's gonna have those times where tears gonna come because we are human and we have those emotions.
Yeah.
I mean, if we didn't, then actually, what would we be? Like without emotions, how would the world be?
Yeah. Very true.
Right, and that's something that I really had, it just came to my mind about that too. Without emotions, what would the world be? But I mean, just going through, traveling the world, where is one place where you would actually, if you could retire and just stay there?
Oh, Japan.
Japan, why?
Definitely Japan, because I think it's I think with Japan, it just has such a nice, amazing history and culture behind it. I'm a huge fan of like Godzilla and like shit like that. Like I even got a tattoo on me. You feel me? Like I think it's just like the art that's over there and the history that they have behind Japan and their land and all that.
Right.
Like that's crazy, and it's really crazy because it's like I wish the U.S. had something like that, like a history behind it. So it's really bad. It's a really bad history. So it's like it's not something that I would like want to be like associated with. But like I think with Japan's history and how they grew as a society, I think it's extremely beautiful. And I think I would love to just kind of experience that over there. Just kind of like marinate in it a little.
Yeah. Right. I heard that it's very nice in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Like even like from a couple Navy buddies. Well, I never was in the Navy, but I had a few buddies that was in the Navy, and they was even saying that Japan is pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
Pretty dope. And yes, and like you said, the culture and everything, like man, it's like no other. Like
no other.
Like
it's
no
crazy.
other. It is crazy. Because like I'm seeing it in my head, and I've been through like quite a few festivals to where they actually tried to bring, like the Japan themes and stuff like that, like the dragon dance and stuff, which is pretty cool. It's dope. I could never do it, but it's dope. It's dope. But I mean, it's just like different cultures, and I love learning different cultures.
No, definitely.
Like it's just something about just being one. Like as for an American, okay, cool. But when you branch out and you see like everything else, like I wouldn't mind going to actually see real Indians. I wouldn't mind actually going, to Africa to see the dance.
No, yeah, definitely.
Like I'm that type of person. I would love to learn more about other people's culture.
Oh yeah.
But you gotta understand it.
Exactly.
So then when they come this way, now you understand why they do such a thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know the same exact way. I love learning about different cultures and the history behind it. And, just embracing that culture because I think it's something so beautiful and so unique. Right. Not everybody can embrace that. Not everybody could like go back and be like, oh yeah, I can relate to that because it's just a certain culture that can, that can relate to that. So yeah, I'm the same exact way.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, give me the true meanings behind it, okay? Like why was this dance created? Okay, what does it mean? What does it stand for? Okay, so when you say this, what does this mean? Like I'm willing to learn, okay? Like, but I mean, besides like putting in the work and stuff, like what are your hobbies? What else do you do in your spare time?
Hobbies. I mean, I make music. Shit.
Right. Like your hobby is what it is that you do.
It kind of is what I do. Yeah, like, that's my hobby. That's just something like literally like music is everywhere. Once you're like an artist or like once you're a musician or whatever, you can't really escape it. Like there's music everywhere.
Right.
Like there's rhythm and everything. There's tune. Everything is music, and so It's just kind of like times where I'm just like out with friends or whatever, and I'll hear something, but I'll start humming something. I'm like, damn, that sounds good.
Right.
And so I'll start recording it on my phone or whatever, and I'm just like, I might use that later. I might go back to it, and like, you know, it's just something like that. It's just kind of a natural thing. But man, hobbies, I don't really have any other hobbies. It's just music.
Right, music, right. Because it's like this. Okay, once you find something that you really love as for career-wise, it's really not a job.
Yeah, exactly.
It becomes a hobby as well as for, you know, you putting in the work towards it too, because I mean, that's something that you have a passion for.
Exactly.
So just like this, I have a passion for it. So it's really not, I mean, you can say it is a hobby too. You know what I mean? It's, you know, because I love interviewing, I love doing shows, I love going out to the community, meeting different people. I love doing that. So it's just like, and you never know who you run into. So that's another thing why I like, you know, like being out in the field as well too. So I mean, man, so I mean, like, are you the only child? You grew up?
No. I have an older brother. We're 7 years apart, and you know, it's just me, my brother, and my mom. You know, that's all we got. You know, that's everybody in the family or whatever. And so we just watch out for one another, and you know, we all, you know, try to help each other out, and yeah, it's really dope.
Right. So is he into music as well, or?
He does it as a hobby. He does music. You know, he tries to mess around with it, but he's really into comedy. He's a comedian, and he's, you know, going to all these like open mics and things like that. Dude's funny, man. I love when he performs and all that, and so it's something that I think a lot of people should get into is comedy, because I feel like there's a lot of comedians that want to, you know, my own HBO special or whatever, but there's not a lot of comedians that really embrace it, you know, that just kind of find, you know, comedy as a hobby as well. Like, you know, it's something that just comes naturally, you know, it's not something that's forced. You're just naturally funny.
Naturally funny.
Our whole family, we're just naturally funny. Like, we just joke around like that, and it's so cool that he has the courage, and like he's able to like really go in front of people and really tell his stories, but in a funny way. And I think that's really dope.
Right. I mean, that's a good way to cope with it as well.
Exactly.
I mean, even though you know that you went through it, but everybody don't know the pain and stuff like that. So why not turn it around into something to where, like you said, it could be a story that you're telling, but yeah, it's funny. But there's somebody else in the audience that could be going through the same thing.
Exactly.
And
I don't think there's a lot of you know, comedians that are like that anymore. You know, I feel like a couple of the greats are like Bernie Mac. You know, sadly he isn't with us anymore. But man, Bernie Mac was hilarious. Oh my God!
Hilarious.
Dude, he took the out for real, honestly. And I think, you know, the current comedians that, you know, me and my brother would look up to are like George Lopez and Gabriel Iglesias, and you know, there's Dave Chappelle, man. Dave Chappelle is like a goat, man. That dude is hilarious.
He is.
Love that man.
He is. I'm just thinking about, like, you know, a couple movies I done seen him in. And it's just like, in the back of my head, all I see is like the stupid stuff that they actually did. So yeah. Oh man, yeah. Dave Chappelle is really funny, really funny. So anything that you can do in the community as for today to change anything, what would it be?
I would probably say like foster homes. Foster homes, or any like situation where a kid isn't growing up around a good community. I would say that's probably one of the things that I would change, just because, you know, CPS really isn't the best system, and neither is like the foster home system either. You know, there's a lot of abuse and sexual assault in the foster home system, and it's just something that I hate to see. You know, there's a kid that is growing up with not knowing who their parents are, and then they feel alone, and then on top of that, they're getting abused. So it's something that's like real nasty, and I think that's one of the things that I would really want to change in the community, is kind of helping those kids out, moving them to a better, you know, environment, community, and something that, you know, makes them feel at home, you know, something that makes them feel loved. And I think that's one of those big issues that I would like to change.
True.
Yeah,
I feel you on that one. It's crazy because I feel for the kids, because sometimes it's just sometimes it comes from how the parent was being treated too.
Yeah, and
so it's just like,
yeah, and it's crazy that you say that, is because it's like, even if the parent was treated like that, that doesn't give them a reason to treat their kids like that.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, I'm sure generations ago, my great grandmother was abused or whatever like that, but that doesn't give her the right to abuse my great grandmother,
Right.
and then for her to abuse my grandmother, and then for my grandmother to abuse my mom, and then my mom to abuse me. You know, like, it's just a chain. So I don't think
broken, basically.
Exactly. So I think that's something that a lot of people need to look into, and like just kind of, you know, break out of that. Just be that person that, okay, you know what, I'm not going to treat my kids like this. I'm not going to, you know, put my kids in that situation where I had to go through it. You know, so yeah, I think that's
Right, because a lot of people go on, well, this is how my mama raised me. Well, this is how my father raised me.
Yeah.
Every time I did something wrong, they beat mine, you know.
Exactly.
Like, no, like now, that's why they make it to where if your kid go to school with any kind of marks on them, if they're not coming to your door, they're going to call you.
Exactly.
You know, so it's just like different steps to it, because parents went above and beyond. Like, I understand I did something wrong, but you don't have to, you know what I'm saying, like, hang me upside down with my ass. You know, you don't have to give a stitch card, you know, y'all know, okay, they get the hair brush, they get, go outside to get your
they get anything.
They got anything, so it's just like, you know, so yeah, today, that's the reason why you can't hit on your kids the way that they used to beat us back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say beat, but they used to whip our ass, you know?
Yeah.
Did we turn out okay? Yes. We turned out good. Right. But you know, it would have been, I feel like it would have been just like a little bit of that beating. We could have been able to open up more. You know, we could have been able to go and talk to them more about what we actually go through every day in life. You know, some people can't actually go and talk to them.
Yeah, nah. Yeah.
You know, because the first thing they're gonna say is, oh well, what did you do? Or, you know, why did you think that it was such and such? And it's different ways, but people don't actually take the time to sit back and listen.
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody come to tell you something, because first of all, just like we were talking about, like with the kids and stuff, you know, like one thing leads to another, and then they, you know, they have some that takes them in the home, and then they still wind up molesting them and stuff like that. They need somebody to actually be able to come and talk to.
Yeah.
Like, that's going on at home, they have nobody to talk to. That's where suicides come in at.
Exactly.
You know, bullying, because the people that are actually bullying other people, they get bullied at home as well.
Yeah.
But they just don't know how to
cope with it.
So now they have to put it on somebody else. You know, so I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the world.
Yeah.
It's the world. But from 2022 to 2025, what do you think would change?
As far as what?
As far as everything. I mean, now, of course, as I saw, they've been having flying cars and stuff. You know, I just recently did research and actually found out they have a place to where people that fly planes, they actually have like their own little area to live, so that way they can fly the plane and drive it back home. Like, it's weird. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, man. Because when I did the research on it, I was like, so it's like, they were like, yeah, it's just a place for people that actually have houses and they have with the plane.
Yeah. I mean, from what, 2022 to 2025?
Yeah.
Man, I think we're too focused on like the materialistic side of the world instead of like the actual world, you know, because global warming is real, and I think a lot of people still don't get that. Like, global warming is real, and you know, I just, you know, it kind of sucks to say, but I really don't see anything past like 2024. And it sucks, and it's kind of scary, but it's like, it is.
Like, you just never know.
Right. You never know. Like, you know, they just NASA just they released that footage of the what is it, that space shuttle that hit the asteroid, and it like exploded or whatever, just kind of like to, in case if an asteroid was coming towards us, you know, to like hit it and like disperse with, like, you know, whatever. But I just think like it's scary that we have to worry about those things now. You know, as a kid, I never had to worry about that. You know, like, I was just chilling. You know, we were all playing. You know, you know, we have snow here in Texas. We used to, you know, summer used to be summer and winter used to be winter. You know? Now it's like winter feels like summer and it's just getting hot.
And summer feels like hell.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's just like, you know, I think that's one thing that we all gotta focus on. We like just kind of working together, saving the world. You know, like just if it's anything, you know, pick up trash in your community, recycle. You know, just little shit. You know, like just kind of, you know, just like help out your community in some way. If there's trash in your local like lakes, or you know, if there's you know, trash in your gutters or anything like that, like, you know, pick it up, take the time, throw it away, recycle it, put it in its respectful bin, and just like, you know, just kind of help out little by little, and slowly, like, we'll start, you know, cleaning up the world little by little. I think that's one thing we gotta focus on.
Yeah,
that's what I see.
Yeah, starting with the water.
Yeah,
start with the water.
Starting with the water,
Mississippi is. I see the water in my head because it's straight brown.
Yeah.
Like straight, but like turn it on and it's coming out of the faucet brown.
And the same thing with like Flint, Michigan and all that. Like they still don't have water, and that thing's been going on since like 2016, I think. So it's like, come on, yeah, like that's
right. But this is America.
Exactly.
But we have our own money. How are there still homeless people? How are there still, you know, those that are actually, you know, suffering? We make our own money, but all these wars that they have going on, they have enough money for that. Trillions of dollars.
Exactly.
Trillions of dollars. When you have people that's out here homeless every day.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, it's just, you know, I don't know. It's just, I feel like we kind of, how can I say, like, we kind of have that mentality of like, oh, if they don't want the help, then we don't have them. But it's like, because there's a lot of homeless people that are just like, you know, a don't bother me kind of person. You know, like, don't bother me, I'm chilling, like, leave me alone. And I think we kind of take that as like, okay, they want to be left alone, they want to be left alone, you know, we don't do nothing about it. But then that starts to kind of create like a stereotype of like, okay, that's all homeless people. And like, you know, especially nowadays people are greedy, so they don't want to give up anything to help out the homeless or anything like that. And, you know, like I said, again, help out your community. If you have like a local, you know, food drive or like a local shelter that you can go help out at, like, you know, help out, you know. Try to recruit or bring more homeless people to those shelters, at least feed them for the day.
Right.
You know, just things like that, though. I feel like that's something that we could all do to like, kind of help out each other. But, yeah.
Yeah, but I think when it comes down to like for the homeless wise, and this is just like from learning from experience and hearing different stories, it is more of not too much of them not having food because they have their sources.
Yeah.
It's more of being able to have somewhere warm to stay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some new changing clothes. You know, I mean, yeah, you become homeless, but at the same time, you know, they weren't always homeless.
Exactly.
You know, they had this job to where when they dressed up in suits. You know, everybody had their moments where they fall off. They just need the help to be picked up.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, just like I said, anything, music, movies, anything that you have that is there, and you don't stay as humble as you need to be, kind of way, it can be taken away from you just that quick.
Yep.
Just that quick. And now, you know, the people that you was talking about, now you're one of them. So, I mean, give back. Give back to the community. Like, any way possible. You don't have to show and fame it for, you know what I'm saying, just do it on the side. Yeah. It don't even have to be the whole, everybody. It just be like one or two, you know? And you see one at the red light, okay, cool. If you don't want to give them money, hey, can I go and get you something to eat? You know, or hey, what size clothes do you want? I'm going to get you a fresh pair of pants, you know, some shoes, something like that. Like, it's those little things that really count because they want to remember that. Not only that, but that's how you get your blessings.
Exactly.
And you never know who that person could have been or who that person could be, you know what I'm saying, in order for you to receive the blessing that you want to receive. And that's on a whole different kind of level. So I like to, you know, go a little deeper. Yeah, I like to go deep. But yeah, man, it's just living your life. Yeah. Living your life. Anything that you would change about it?
No. I think everything happens for a reason. I feel like that's like rule number one. Everything happens for a reason. I think, you know, life is good. Quote to Future, you feel me? Life is good.
Life is good, right?
Definitely, and I just, I just think, if you have that thought of like, oh, I wish I could change this, you can, but you could change it for your future. Like you can't change the past,
Right, you can't.
but you can definitely take action now and change whatever your future beholds. You feel me? So
Right.
I think that's one of my
That's good words.
yeah.
That's good words. That's good words. Somebody probably need to hear that. I know for sure I needed to hear that. Yeah, you can't change the past, but you can make a better future.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. So I mean, you have any extra words, or tell them how they can find you on all your platforms? What to look forward to?
I'm on Instagram, Twitter at Saint LENIVYY. That's SaintLenivy. All streaming platforms: Apple, Spotify, Tidal, iHeartMusic Radio, all that good stuff. Saint LENIVYY. I got music coming out. I got collaborations coming out. I have 2 artists that I want to mention real quick that I think they're really putting in that work. One of them her name is Oracle. She's one of my homegirls. We grew up, real close, and now, she's doing her own thing. She wants to like really pursue that music, and I'm trying to help her push her.
Right.
And it's really dope though, because like all the people that I collaborate with, they have their own style. And Oracle, she's more of like a lo-fi kind of artist, really Mac Miller-esque, kind of vibe to it. It's really dope. She makes really dope music, and I'm super proud of how far she's come.
Right.
Another artist is Area 7X. Man, dude is awesome, man. That's like, he's really aggressive. He's like very, very punchy with it. And I think he's about to drop his EP soon, and I'm featured on that. So y'all definitely need to watch out for that. And yeah, just hit me up on Instagram. That's where you can find me. That's where most of my adventures are. And yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Oh man, I appreciate you coming out. If anything he does, I for sure have everything tagged for his social medias and stuff down in the description box below. So that way y'all can just go ahead and make it easy for y'all to follow him. But yes, I appreciate you coming out.
Nah, definitely. Thank you.
It was great to finally meet you. We talked a couple of times.
Sure.
Being face to face now and actually hearing the story, being in your presence, it's wonderful.
I appreciate
It's
that.
wonderful.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So you guys, with that being said, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we will see y'all next time. Peace out.
You see a king who knows a thing about his treasury. Bitch! Hey, yo, Saint! What? I got the touch that turn you to gold. I got the hands that make the girls fold. You know that I got it. You know that I